Hello everyone, welcome to TTV News with some last events in Tay Ninh Province. And now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of June 22nd, the Standing Committee of the Provincial People Council supervised the settlement of the voter petition after the second meeting of the 10th Provincial People Council for the Provincial People Committee. Two vice chairmen of the Provincial People Council, including Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi and Mr. Nguyễn Thành Phong, co-chaired the meeting. On the side of the supervisory units, Mr. Trần Văn Chiến, vice chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, attended the meeting.
On the basis of the report of the Provincial People's Committee, the legal department of the Provincial People's Council has examined the explanation of the relevant departments and branches. The results of the Provincial People's Committee dealing with the voters' recommendations as follows. The total number of petitions of voters before and after the second session summarized by the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council and sent to the Provincial People's Committee was 58 recommendations. After receiving the opinions and recommendations of voters, the leaders of the Provincial People's Committee focus on leading and directing to assign specific responsibilities to each department, branch, and the People's Committees of districts, towns, and cities to consider solutions for voters' recommendations. Thereby, it has contributed to improving the responsibility of all levels, branches, and localities in solving and answering the problems proposed by voters. For voters' petitions that have not been completely resolved in the previous supervisory terms, the Provincial People's Committee has continued to monitor and direct the settlement, periodically review and report on the progress of the settlement to the Standing Committee of Provincial People's Council according to regulations. However, the settlement of voters' petitions still has some limitations. Some petitions have not been completely resolved, accounts for a relative high rate. At the supervisory session, the leaders of the departments, branches, and the Provincial People's Committee explained a number of specific cases that were suggested many times by voters. From the monitoring sessions of the legal department of the Provincial People's Council in May, the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council proposed to the Provincial People's Committee to analyze, evaluate, and clarify the causes and determine the responsibilities of functional departments and branches. At the same time, the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council also suggested that the Provincial People's Committee should regularly review, inspect, and urge the implementation.
In the morning of June 21st, Tay Ninh Provincial Trade Unions of Public and Allied Employees have a preliminary review of trade unions' activity in the first 6 months of the year, implemented orientation and key tasks for the last 6 months, and summarize the activities of Workers' Month in 2022.
At the conference, Mr. Võ Văn Tân, Chairman of Tay Ninh Provincial Trade Union, said that with the theme of trade union activities in 2022, taking care of jobs and life for workers, in the first 6 months of the year, it has implemented and achieved many positive results. In addition, it also well implemented the program 1 million initiatives, efforts to overcome difficulties, be creative, determined to win the COVID-19 pandemic. Attracting 220 initiatives registered to participate. During the month, it also presented a savings book worth 10 million Vietnam dong to union members whose relatives died due to the COVID-19 epidemic, giving money to build one trade union house for members in difficult circumstances, worth 55 million Vietnam dong. On this occasion, the conference also awarded an emulation plaque to the grassroots trade union of the Provincial Labour Confederation, which had excellent achievements in the movement of the emulating good labor and building a strong trade union organization in 2021, awarded one certificate of merit from the Provincial People's Committee to the grassroots trade union of the Customs Department for successfully completing the 90-day sprint emulation movement to the goal in 2021, and awarded for certificates of merit to collectives and individuals with achievements on the occasion of the Workers' Month in 2022.
The audience, as part of the project, support to improve the quality of life of those with disabilities in province heavily raised with Agent Orange in Tay Ninh Province from April to December of 2022 of the Center for Supporting Community Service Initiative, CSIB. From May 30 to June 25, 2022, Hoàng Đức Education and Consultant Company Limited, in collaboration with the Provincial Department of Labor, War, Invalids and Social Affairs, conducted surveys, management, and communication to raise awareness of mental health of people with disability and their relatives in Tay Ninh Province.
During the implementation of the program, 5,000 people with disabilities who are over 18 years old with mobility impairments and 500 relatives of people with disabilities in Tay Ninh City and Hoa Thanh Thao will be trained by expert psychiatrists of Hoàng Đức Company who assess depression, anxiety and quality of life of people with disabilities and their relatives. Thereby, they propose solutions and models of providing support services and psychological interventions suitable to the characteristics and psychological status of the subjects. At the same time, through the survey, mental health care for people with disabilities and their relatives also helps to raise a community awareness about mental health and psychological intervention, especially community groups such as people with disabilities and their relatives, health workers, social workers in the field of care and support for people with disabilities, towards a variety of multidisciplinary rehabilitation activities to help improve and enhance the quality of life of people with disabilities and their relatives. Caring for people with disabilities needs to focus on solutions to support learning to integrate into the community. In this process, the family plays an important role in providing care, encouragement, and self-confidence, help them live with a more positive and optimistic attitude in life. On June 21st, the People's Committee of Trang Bang Thao organized a seminar to raise awareness about startup, innovation, and intellectual property in 2022 in the town. At the seminar, the reporters from the Provincial Department of Science and Technology presented the following topics: communication, legal policies on startup, innovation, interview of intellectual property, trademark registration. After listening to the report, the delegates discussed a number of issues related to the state support policies on startup and innovation, the importance of protecting intellectual property rights in the creation of products, trademark registration process. Speaking at the seminar, Ms. Lê Thị Hồng Thắm, Vice Chairwoman of Trang Bang Thao People's Committee, suggested that agencies, departments, branches, and localities actually study the implemented contents, rightly see startup opportunities to create jobs for themselves, their families, and the society, promote the spirit of dare to think and do, spread the spirit of pro-innovation in production labor, contribute to the local socio-economic construction and development. In the first 6 months of 2022, there were 19 outbreaks of African swine fever in Tay Ninh Province, with 501 cases. However, all outbreaks were controlled and without new outbreaks after 21 days. The Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has issued and implemented the plan to strengthen the prevention control of African swine fever in the province. Up to now, the veterinary sector has organized one round of vaccination for cattle and poultry in the first phase. According to the schedule, more than 1,000 doses of blue ear disease vaccine have been vaccinated in pigs, more than 569,000 doses of avian influenza vaccine, 264,000 doses of the Newcastle vaccine, and 4,250 doses of rabies vaccines. In addition, the grassroots veterinary network in districts, towns, and cities also vaccinated more than 93,200 doses of vaccines against other diseases. In the field of livestock plant hygiene, The animal husbandry and veterinary sector also completed the general disinfection routes, provided 5,500 liters of disinfectant to animal breeding households across the province, and at the same time regularly monitor cleaning and disinfecting in animal husbandry, slaughtering and transportation facilities.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rest, one of the cause and important forces on the ideological and cultural front, has made a great contribution to the party revolutionary cause, the cause of national construction and defense. Over the course of 97 years, Vietnamese press has grown strongly in terms of quantities and quality of content, form, and staff.
In the general flow of the Vietnamese revolutionary press, the press of Tay Ninh Province has made positive contributions on the information front, acting as a bridge between the party, the state, and the people, participating in monitoring and giving feedback, help party committees and authorities to build, adjust, and perfect many guidelines and policies. The information reported by Tay Ninh newspaper, Tay Ninh radio and television station is very quick, timely and accurate, so that how people have confidence in them. The information of the press agencies, especially the press agencies of the province in the last time, is timely, meeting the transmission of official information to our people. With increasingly innovative, flexible, and proactive propaganda contents and forms, it can be said that the provincial press has closely followed the guidelines of the party and state, as well as the actual situation of the locality, to provide comprehensive, fast, and accurate information on the economic, political, cultural, defense, security, and party building work of the province. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 is taking strongly. The Vietnamese press in general and the press in Tay Ninh Province in particular are making changes to match the requirements of the digital technology era. With the available advantages, Tay Ninh radio and television station, Tay Ninh newspaper have been making constant efforts to improve the quality of news articles, initially building multimedia works and published on the internet. Social networking platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Zillow, etc. bring high interactivity, meet the increasing needs of the public, and contributing to creating a foothold in the flow of journalism in the 4.0 era. For both print and electronic newspapers over the last time, the newspaper has focused on publishing many in-depth articles according to the line of events, especially focusing on propaganda about party building work, protecting the ideological foundation of the party, in particular the publication of newsletters. In addition to the daily hot news, the newspaper focuses on providing information in the direction of free news associated with people's daily life, thereby improving the quality of content in printed and electronic newspapers. In order to catch up with the trend of digital transformation, in the past time, Tay Ninh radio and television station has accomplished a number of contents, specifically as follows. The first thing is that we organize centralized data storage, helping for faster production of television news. Secondly, we have developed digital infrastructure channels to distribute content, helping viewers and listeners to access on channels information about the station through many forms such as traditional television, traditional radio, cable television broadcasting infrastructure, and thirdly, OTT infrastructure or digital infrastructure. Applying information technology in digital transformation has helped the station leaders of the specialized departments to access, catch up, and control on information content quickly at any time and any location. Currently, journalism is facing unprecedented challenges, but this challenge is also an opportunity to innovate itself. In the development trend of the integration era as a short force on the ideological front, journalists in the province continue to improve their knowledge, grasp technological achievements, and constantly innovate content and form, proactively informing, fighting against disinformation, fake news, etc., from there contributing to meet the requirements of the mission in the new situation.
That's all for today TTV News. Thanks for watching and see you next time.